Often, the most amazing or impactful discoveries are made while searching for something else entirely. Some of these discoveries are concerning, such as an abundance of plastic in rainfall, while others are thrilling, such as the potential for infinite space discoveries made possible by an exciting new telescope. But all these discoveries teach us something valuable about the world around us. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be looking at 3 new discoveries and what they mean for the future. It is raining plastic in the Rocky Mountains. One thing that nobody expected to be falling from the sky is plastic. Unfortunately, that is exactly what a team of researchers working with the United States Geological Survey uncovered during their analysis of rainwater samples in the Rocky Mountains. The team was using the samples in order to determine if nitrogen pollution was present, but what they found was even more concerning. The analysts revealed that microplastic was found in over 90% of the samples that were collected from 8 different sites throughout Denver and Boulder, Colorado. And while microplastics in rainwater is not an unusual or unique occurrence, it was previously thought that most instances of contamination were limited to urban areas with much higher pollution rates. However, many of these recent samples were taken from locations that were very rural, and were not expected to contain the levels of microplastics that they did. The research team stated in the report that more plastic fibers were observed in samples from urban sites than from remote, mountainous sites. However, frequent observation of plastic fibers in washout samples from the remote site CO98 at Loch Vale in Rocky Mountain National Park suggests that wet deposition of plastic is ubiquitous and not just an urban condition. The site CO98 that is referenced in the Rocky Mountains is from a rarely frequented location over 3,000 meters above sea level, where it was thought that the likelihood of plastic contamination would be low. After further analysis of the plastics, it seems that most of the contamination is from thin strands resembling synthetic fibers from many clothes and other fabrics. The plastics were noted in a veritable rainbow of colors, from blue to red, purple, green, and even silver. Although these microscopic particles are only visible under at least 20 times magnification and may not seem like much, the fact of the matter is that millions of tons of these microplastics make their way into our oceans and ecosystems every year, and some estimate that we consume over 70,000 microplastic particles a year at the bare minimum. These recent results confirm that there is undoubtedly much more plastic that exists unsuspected within our world, and determining the extent of the potential damages is critical in assessing the state of the pollution crisis, both visible and microscopic. Because these microplastics were discovered in areas where they were totally unanticipated, the researchers who were part of the team were able to conclude that it might be quite literally raining plastic and thus affecting even the rural and unpopulated ecosystems much more than scientists had anticipated. However, because the original study was only structured for the analysis of nitrogen pollution in the collected samples, the microplastic pollution having been an unanticipated shock, much more thorough investigation is needed to determine what this discovery might mean for the microplastic pollution across the world. The James Webb Space Telescope will open the secrets of the universe. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson is excited for the future of space and our interaction with and knowledge of it, and he shared this excitement ahead of the launch of the James Webb Space Telescope, which launched on Christmas Day of this year from the Guyana Space Center in Kourou, French Guiana. Nelson believes that, as the foremost example of the most advanced technology available, this telescope will help researchers unlock almost unbelievable amounts of knowledge about the universe around us. He told Space.com in an interview that this is a one-of-a-kind. It is the most advanced technology and will open up secrets of the universe that will be just stupendous, if not almost overwhelming. He continued to elaborate on his high hopes for Webb, saying that he hopes it will trigger a quantum leap of understanding of who we are, how we got here, what we are, and how did it all evolve. So what makes the James Webb Space Telescope so different from all the other telescopes that have previously been used to glean an understanding of the cosmos? For starters, Webb primarily views space through infrared light using an incredibly large mirror that can pick up the infrared light that is given off from even the furthest, dimmest galaxies. This mirror is 6 times larger than the one on the famous Hubble Space Telescope and will allow this new telescope to potentially see further than we have ever seen before. Furthermore, observing infrared light that has travelled for millions upon millions of light years means that there is a very real possibility that the telescope will be able to peer back in time and document the very earliest light created in first observable elements of our universe. Nelson has said that in one instance, they hope that the telescope will be able to view light emitted over 13 billion years ago to when the first galaxy was formed, an estimated 250 million after the Big Bang that brought our universe into being. But beyond providing a window into the past, Webb's sharp vision will not only allow scientists to view previously unseen parts of our world, including undiscovered exoplanets and their respective stars, but will also be able to determine the chemical composition of these planets' atmospheres. This information will allow scientists to have a much greater understanding of the inner workings and chemical details of faraway planets, which will provide valuable information about how many other potentially habitable planets might be undiscovered sources of even microscopic life. Webb will enter into space to work towards 4 initial objectives. First, the creation of the universe, followed by the early stars and planets, the formation of galaxies, and the study of exoplanets. However, it is hoped that much more will be discovered as Webb orbits in space. The James Webb Space Telescope is a project that has taken over 2 decades to come to fruition, and researchers hope that its unbelievable capabilities will be able to provide a glimpse into the world outside of our planet, unlike any that has been seen before. The potential for new information and discoveries to come to light is incredibly high, and researchers are waiting with bated breath to see what these finds may be. Astronomers discover 70 rogue planets the size of Jupiter. So-called rogue planets are planets that do not orbit around a star in the way that most of the planets that we know of do, and recently astronomers have identified an astonishing 70 such bodies. These planets have either been ejected from their planetary system orbits around a central star or have never been gravitationally bound to such a body and travel without orbit through space. Rogue planets are not rare by any means. In fact, it is estimated that there are likely several billion in the Milky Way alone. However, it is typically very difficult to pinpoint rogue planets because usually scientists rely on the central star's light for identification of exoplanets, which makes it a challenge to locate planets that do not orbit around a star. Researchers had to get creative in order to identify this recent batch of planets, which was able to be discovered because they still give off enough heat to cause a distinctive glow, even millions of years after their creation. The team that was responsible for the identification of these planets, each of which has a large mass close to the size of Jupiter, meticulously measured even the smallest of motions and analyzed the color and luminosity of millions upon millions of light sources that were visible in a stretch of the sky to determine which of the faintest light sources were in fact rogue planets. And finding 70 rogue planets was a big surprise to the team, that hopes to find hundreds more upon further studies. But why do these strange planets matter to scientists? The team hopes that the study of rogue planets will help to answer many questions about how the universe works in order to create such a mysterious set of objects. Currently, the prevailing theory is that the planets were ejected from a host system or were created by collapsing gas clouds that created the planets instead of stars. But the location and dimness of the planets means that they are hard to study in order to understand more about them, although the creation of a new, powerful telescope in Chile gives some researchers hope that they will soon be able to observe the elusive bodies in much more detail. Current methods limit the available knowledge, as researchers cannot measure the mass of the bodies, which is a crucial step in determining whether a dimly glowing light is a planet or a faint star. Additionally, as the rogue planets continue to age, their light grows fainter and fainter, making identification of older planets even more difficult. However, researchers hope that the definitive identification of this recent batch of an astonishing 70 rogue planets means that soon more will be able to be discovered about the origins of these mysterious objects. But what do you make of these new discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.